Okay, Renee, just go ahead and tell me your story. You say you saw him on your son.
I seen my son April the 10th, 2001. It was on we met at on Market Street. We used to meet there and I used to give him change. And I gave him a pager and everything for him to page me just in case, you know, I want to contact him. And so I kept paging him, and he never did return my page. I didn't find out that he was murdered till like 3 weeks later when I was going through my recovery, and my brother came to the drug program and told me that my son was murdered. That's why he couldn't contact me, because he was dead. So when I went to Inglewood Police Station, they tried to interrogate me like my son was a gangbanger, which he was not. You know, he used to, you know, do errands for him, but he didn't. What he did behind my back, I don't know. But to me, when he around me, he was Jamel. You know, like to watch TV and play games and stuff. But they called him to the car. He knew the person that did it. He called him to the car, and when he seen him with the gun, he turned to ran, and they shot him in his back.
And what was your son's name, and when did this happen?
They call him Melly Mel in Inglewood. But I called him Bookie, but he didn't like that, so I called him Jamel. Okay. Everybody called him Jamel, you know. That's his middle name.
What's his full name, and when did this happen?
Antoine Jamel Tatum.
And when did this happen?
This happened April 11, 2001.
Okay, you said there's a reward out for him?
No, there's a reward out for my little nephew.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to say about your son?
Yes, Inglewood Police, they interrogated me, and it hurt me so bad because I still couldn't believe my son was gone. I had to see him for my eyes. And when I went to the mortuary, because they had him in downtown at the corner, and then when I went to go, you know, to claim the body, they wouldn't let me do that. So the mortuary, when I seen him, he was laying on the thing at the mortuary, and my cousin had to, you know, sustain me because I was trying to get to him, you know, but he was around a bunch of, in the morgue, they be around a lot of diseases and stuff, so I couldn't touch him. That hurted me then. And plus I didn't have no insurance on him, you know, because I was in a shelter, you know, just got off from a drugs, you know, my life back together, you know, get him together, because he just lost his daddy in '98. And the only thing I want to say is, whoever's doing all these senseless murders to black young men, I pray to God he get caught, you know. You know, I left it in the Lord's hand on my angle. But my cousin, she put a ward out for baby Sam.
Okay, how old was your son again?
21. He just turned 21, February the 5th.
And this was about 11 years ago.
No, exactly. It'd be 10 years.
10 years ago.
In April 11th of this year.
Okay. So how have you been handling it the last 10 years?
I've been going to Guston Hawkins to my psych doctor and talk to him about it and everything.
Okay.
Because I'm on the verge of snapping, and I've been to prison, gave back 3 numbers. I'm not proud to say about that, but I'm not going to do no good for my other 2 sons locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I pray to God that whoever did it, you know, I know the Lord, he works in mysterious ways, but I wish I had never been on drugs, that I could have spent that time with my son, you know. All that precious time I was doing drugs, I could have did it with him. Okay. You know. Okay. And that's what I'm really, you know, I'm hurting about.
Okay, have you had much contact with the Inglewood PD? It sounds like it was this in Inglewood PD's jurisdiction?
Yes.
So their detectives are working on it?
As to my knowledge, I left them alone because they interrogated me like I was a suspect. And they tried to proclaim him like he was a gangbanger. And my son was not no gangbanger. Okay. You know, because the only thing he liked to do was just, you know, watch TV and, you know, be around family. Okay. But he was homeless at the time because I was in the shelter and his daddy passed, so he had to stay with his friend named Pee Wee. And this Pee Wee guy, I know he know exactly what happened to my son, because I dreamt this before it happened. Mm-hmm. You know, I felt the shots and everything, you know. And my counselor told me, if there's anybody that looked like me, and I said, yeah, my oldest son. So she told me to reverse my dream. So I got shot in the chest, but he got shot in the back. You understand what I'm saying? So I dreamed it. The Lord showed me the vision before it happened to prepare me for it. And that kind of helped a little, you know. That's how I know the Lord going to work it out. And whoever did that to him, they're going to, you know, they're going to get caught for it, whatever.
Okay.
But just senseless murder on my cousin, my nephew, he was a baby mama. He liked to stay at home because she works for the city. He liked to stay at home. We call him Baby Sam. And he liked to stay at home and just cook and do for his grandmama because they stay 2 houses down from her. You know, whoever killed him, I believe it was just about a body part thing because they shot him in his head. And you know, and the way they left him land, it's like, you know, they knew he was vegetable and dead in the brain, but I think they did it for the body parts.
When did this happen and what was his name?
His name was, we called him Baby Sam, but his name was Thomas Eugene Pearson.
When did it happen?
This happened in last year. No, 2009.
2009. And how old was he?
He was 29, just turning on July. He just turned 30. November the 4th is his birthday.
Okay, and where did this happen?
This happened by Lamar Park. My son got killed in Inglewood, and Baby Sam got killed in Inglewood.
Okay.
And so we feel like this. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
We feel like there's some kind of connection, you know. But both of our sons get killed in Inglewood, you know. You know. But I pray to God, whoever did it, you know, I'm gonna leave it in the Lord's hand.
Okay.
Because that's the best person to do it.
Okay.
You know, because if I put it in my hands, I'm not gonna do nothing but end up in jail or dead too. You know, so you can't fight the Lord. Fight, you know, let the Lord handle it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Renee, for this interview and information. We'll make sure we put both your nephew and your son's name on the wall of shame.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Tell me your name and what happened.
All right. Hello. My name is Barbara Jean Calhoun. I'm one of the council people here in the beautiful city of Compton. So we want to talk about a loved one that was murdered, killed, drive-by, however it went. And people want to know why we still struggle with the anger or why we still break out in tears. My brother was murdered in 2000, around July, August. And it happened at the corner of Compton Boulevard and Central. And not only was my brother murdered, it was a young lady by the name of Lisa and another young man by last name of Colbert. And I was at work. And you know, people always say they get these feelings, and so I got this feeling that came across me. And it was my brother talking to me. And I remember my exact words. I looked at the time on my watch and I was saying, well, Lord, watch over my brother, because we won't have to worry about the funeral because my brother was in the Army. And we knew that he would be buried military style. Now, why that came over me, I don't know. I came home and my son told me that something was wrong. My other brother said, meet him at Compton Boulevard in Central. And I met my other brother and he told me something happened to our brother. And my brother's name was Willie Lee Calhoun. And his nickname was Bucky. And it was a triple homicide. To this day, hasn't been solved. To this day, I think about it a whole lot. Birthdays, when we have family gatherings, you know, we discuss it. I applaud the Compton Fire Department, because the Compton Fire Department is the one that took both of the young men to King Drew Hospital. And we had some fantastic doctors and nurses at that hospital. trying to open back up now, thanks to Mark Riley Thomas. But they worked on my brother. My brother was shot with an AK-47. He did not survive, but they worked on my brother and came alive, lost his life, you know, and then finally, the last effort, he didn't make it. So,
take your time. How old was your brother?
he was in his 40s.
He was 40.
And you know what the bad thing was about it? We could not have my brother's funeral in Compton. My brother was not a gang member at all, but so many people have been killed around that time. And even the young lady, Lisa, nobody knew where her funeral was going to be held at because the family kept it private. And we had my brother's funeral in Los Angeles. And I don't know what to say.
Well, it's been 11 years now, and it sounds like you're still grieving. How have you been able to cope, and how do you cope after all of this time?
You know, sometimes when it comes over you, you just have to do what you do and just let it out. Didn't go to any counseling. Wish we had that would have helped us some. But there was nothing there at the time, and nobody approached us about getting counseling.
So what would you say to other folks who are in similar situations, who have lost loved ones to violence?
We need counseling. We had to find a group that does things like that to help you understand, or just be able to forgive, because you have to forgive in order to move on. Maybe it'll never be solved in my lifetime. That's what they call cold cases. I don't know how many cold cases we have in the city of Compton. I'm not an expert on cold cases, but it's a cold case. I remember we went to the location and we still saw bullets on the ground. Still saw bullets on the ground. And I remember talking to my brother. And my brother, when he was looking for his brother, he was walking down Compton Boulevard past the alley where the liquor store is at. There's an alley behind the houses. And I remember my brother saying that as he was walking, approaching the alley, a black dog came out. And the black dog was growling. And he started backing up. And he said the black dog would walk away and he'd try to go by again, and the black dog would come back and growl at him. And my brother said when he looked up again, he had one of his friends was coming around the corner of a Manta. And he was asking his friend, "Hey man, have you seen my brother?" And the young man said, "Isn't that your car over there?" And my brother turned around and realized it was his car. And that's when he knew that something had happened. He talked to the police. So a lot of things come over us and we don't know what it is, a feeling, whatever. And people ask me, what is the solution? I don't know. I don't know. People look at our civic leaders for solutions. I don't have it all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have it all. I don't know it all. So what would the solution be?